Hi guys, welcome back to Sweet Bay Lane. Or if you're new, welcome. I'm Tracy, and I'm so grateful you took the time to stop by and craft with us because the DIY project in this video far exceeded even my expectations. And when you see the end result, you'll see why. So let's go ahead and get started. Now we're starting our project with some wood supplies, and those consist of 2 wooden slats measuring 6 inches long, and then 2 pieces of 1x2 that have been cut down to 6 inches as well. And we're also going to need one of these wood canvas pieces. They measure 12 inches square, and they are a part of Hobby Lobby's wood pile line, and they come in a 3-pack. But for this project, we'll just need one of these little wood canvases. Now that we have our wood pieces collected, we then need to stain our pieces. Now you can use whatever stain you prefer to work with. I love working with the Americana gel stains, and I'm going to be using the color oak for this project. Now that we have all our wood pieces stained, we just set them aside to dry and we continue on to our next step, and that's going to be staining these little wood cubes. We're going to need 4 of them, and we're going to stain all 4. Once those are stained and they've dried completely along with your wood canvas, next step, we're going to take those little wood cubes and we're going to add a touch of hot glue and glue them in the corner, leaving about 1/4 inch on each side of the little cube along the border, as I'm showing you here. And once that's done, we then flip our wood canvas over, and we'll want to attach our 4 pieces of stained wood. And how we do that, we're going to take the little flat wood slats, we're going to glue those down by finding the center of our board. And since they measure 6 inches and the board is 12 inches, it's pretty easy to center up. You just make sure that there's 3 inches on each side of your wood slat. And once you find your center, then we're just going to take our wood slat and we're going to glue it down with some wood glue and some hot glue. And once those are glued down, then we take our 1x2 pieces and we glue those directly on top of our wood slats. Okay, now that we have that done, we're going to move on to prepping these wood cubes. Now I have 10 of them and we're going to turn them into a set of 5. And to do that, we'll just take 1 cube and glue it to the other. And once we have all our cubes glued together, then we're going to come in and paint them white. Once we have our stacked cubes painted white, we then move on to our next fun step of this project, and that's going to be bringing in an initial or a wooden letter of your choice. I'm going to be using this letter C that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. And for this step, we're just going to take our glued together painted cubes and we're going to attach them to the back side of our initial. Okay, now that we have our risers on the back side of our initial, we then bring in a really fun supply to this DIY project, and that's going to be a piece of AstroTurf. Now, I purchased this large roll from Home Depot off of one of those giant rolls they have in the carpet section, but you could do this with a mat or even a little rug if you can find it out in the store somewhere. Now I want my AstroTurf to measure 10-inch square, and I just wanted to save the one end to show you how easy it is to cut. As you can see, I'm just cutting it with a pair of standard scissors. Once we have that done, we then bring back in our square wood canvas. And we're going to need to drill a hole up about 3 inches from the bottom corner. Once the hole's been drilled, we then come in with our pack of twinkle lights. Now I got these at Harbor Freight and they are a great find. They're beautiful lights and they're remote control. Another great thing is they operate on 3 AA batteries. Once you get your lights removed from their packaging, you'll take the end of the strand and feed it through the back side of your wood canvas through the hole we just drilled. Now that we have our lights fed completely through, we need to flip our wood canvas over and we're going to attach the battery pack. Now to do that, you just need to make sure that the lid of your battery pack is facing outwards so you can have access to your batteries, and you'll just either attach it one of 2 ways, with hot glue directly on the battery pack and glued to the back side, or you can use these Velcro fastener dots like I'm using. Now that we have our battery pack securely attached, we then flip our wood canvas over and we want to attach the twinkle lights themselves at the base where they came into the hole, and to do that I just take a small piece of felt and glue them down. Once they're glued down, we're then going to string them along on the outside edge of our wooden cubes. And that is the reason for leaving that little gap between the cubes and the corners of the wood frame. You'll just take your lights and you'll tuck them in behind each cube and run it around approximately 3 times, just making sure to end where the felt piece is where you began. And once you get them wrapped around and you've come back to your felt piece, you'll then add another felt piece to secure them down. And yes, you are going to have some leftover strand of lights, which we are going to use here in a minute. Okay, that looks great. Now we're going to continue on with our square of AstroTurf. and we're just going to cut off a little bit of each corner. Now that we know our AstroTurf will fit inside our frame, we need to figure out where we want to bring the rest of our twinkle light strand through the back side of our AstroTurf. To do that, you'll just put your initial where you want it on your AstroTurf, and then I just stuck my finger underneath and kind of guesstimated where I want my little slit to be, and I proceeded to cut it with a utility knife. And once we have our slit cut, then we just want to pull the rest of our twinkle light strand through the back side of our AstroTurf. And glue the AstroTurf down to the wood canvas frame. Once that's done, we then want to utilize the rest of our twinkle light strand. And to do that, we're going to bring back in our initial, and we're going to cover the back side of the initial with the remaining twinkle light strand. And this may look complicated, but it's not that complicated. You just find where you want your strand to enter the back side of your initial, you'll mark it with a pencil or whatever, and then you'll just proceed to glue the twinkle lights onto the back side of the initial with little pieces of felt. That looks perfect. Perfect coverage in my opinion. Now we're going to flip our letter over and we're going to make sure where we want it. Then we're going to come in and add some hot glue to each base of our little risers we attach to the back side of our initial. Then we're going to attach it to the AstroTurf and make sure it's good and settled in by pressing and wiggling your initial, which actually nestles it down in the AstroTurf quite nice. And just like that, we're finished with a gorgeous DIY project. Hey guys, that wraps it up for this DIY craft project, and I think it turned out quite adorable. I also hope it inspires you to make one of your own. I can't wait to give mine to my parents for their anniversary present. I also have to take a moment and thank all of my crafting friends for your love and support in the comment section. It means the world to me. And if you haven't yet subscribed, do yourself a favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we would love to have you here at Sweet Bay Lane. Well, until next week, keep it crafty.